In this video, we're going to talk about how to sit down safely and with control into a chair so you don't hurt yourself or fall over. So if you're ready, let's get ready to think right, move right, and feel right. The longer you spend your life living in a chair or on the couch staring at screens, you might start to notice that it gets harder and harder to control your way down into a seat. You start to find yourself getting really lazy, and instead of slowly lowering your butt down into a chair, you just shortcut this whole part and just fling yourself back. And that's all well and good until one day you discover when you need to control your way down, you can't and you fall over. Now, oftentimes people think, well, isn't that just part of getting older? Isn't that my hip and knee arthritis? If you have trouble sitting down in a chair with control, you need to remember to ATM. Always think muscles. Being able to sit down on a chair slowly and with control isn't about your bones. Your bones can't control themselves. If you had no muscles, guess where your bones would be? Right here on the floor like this, because without muscles, your bones are just going to be on the floor. Was that good for you? So in this video, I'm going to show you how to strengthen your leg muscles and your hip muscles so you can lower yourself down into a couch or a chair or anywhere. And before I explain this whole process, I want to know what brought you to this video. Why are you thinking about sitting down in a chair with control? Have you had a recent accident? Are you getting older? What's going on? Drop me a comment down below. When you're trying to sit down into a chair, there are some clear stages where muscles need to be able to do the work. So let's go step by step through this process. You're standing straight up. You're going to sit down. Your butt is gonna have to make its way back there, and it's gonna have to go down low. To do that, your knees have to bend and your hips have to go into what's called flexion. So you're going bending, this angle's closing, this angle is closing. The rhythm and the pace is going to vary depending on how long your femur is, how long your tibia is, and also the depth of the couch, how far back you're trying to get. But the general idea is the same. These things need to figure out how to bend at a pace that gets you slowly down and into position. This process primarily involves your quads and your butt muscles. If your quads are too weak, you're gonna have trouble bending your knees enough to allow you to safely go down without falling. If your butt muscles are too weak, you're gonna have trouble with that backward part and controlling the descent. So if you approach the couch and you're like, I wanna sit down, but this is as far as I can go, then you know you have a problem probably with both your quads and your butt. But maybe you have some strong quads and maybe you're like, well, I could do this, but I can't get my butt back. Then that means your butt muscles, these hip muscles, high hamstrings are weak. They can't help you stabilize when your butt is jutting back like this. Now you might be wondering how your butt and your legs got so weak. You're an adult. You eat 3 or 4 or 5 meals a day. How could these muscles waste away? The answer is sitting on your butt all day to do whatever your job is, whether it's driving, clicking the mouse button, or just scrolling through TikTok, is not going to keep your muscles alive. In fact, the more you sit, the worse your butt muscles are gonna get, and the more your leg muscles are gonna atrophy. To get control of this sitting motion, you're gonna have to reverse this process by training those muscles and pumping blood back into them and getting your brain to talk to those muscles again. Hey, I want to give a big shout out to Gene and Doral for your $50 contributions to support the Upright Health YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And a big shout out to David. Your donation is also very much appreciated. If you'd like to support this channel too, use the thanks or the join button, or use the PayPal or Patreon links that you find in the description box. Now let's get back to your sitting. For the first exercise, I want to start with your butt. What I'm going to show you is going to hit your butt and high hamstring muscles in a way that you wouldn't normally hit them in the gym. If you're doing squats and deadlifts and lunges, you're still not hitting these muscles. And if you're doing bridges, even weighted bridges, you're still not hitting these muscles in this particular way. And that means you're not getting the strength you need at this particular length. The setup for this exercise is really simple. You're going to take your knee and your shin and just put it on the couch. Your other leg is just going to stabilize you a little bit. Don't put a bunch of weight onto that back leg. Instead, try to put as much weight as you can and as much force down as you can into the couch. Use your hands. You can lift this foot off. You can keep it on the floor, whatever works, and just push down hard into the couch. You should feel your butt muscles start to work. Now, it may not be a huge sensation. You may be sitting here going like, what am I doing? Stay there. You just hold on to that position, keep pushing down, keep trying to find that sensation back here in the butt and high hamstrings. When you're in this position, you can also play with the rotation of your pelvis. I highly encourage you to experiment, go deeper into it, go out like this. Just find the different angles that are weak and keep remembering to try to feel this. The goal here is to get used to firing the muscles in this angle, because when you're going to sit down, you need those butt muscles to be working at that range with the hip angle. You don't really need a lot of hip strength at this extended position, which you would get in, say, a bridge. And when you're sitting down, you don't need the strength that you're building when you're doing the deadlift through this particular range. Instead, you need more strength to control that gradual movement. So when we just park here, we're training our brain and our butt muscles, our hip muscles, to handle this sustained work. Then we play with closing this angle down. So now we're approximating the same angles we would get when we're going to sit on a chair. Hold that position. Wait until you actually feel muscles working and fatiguing. This might take you a while if you haven't done anything to wake up your butt in a long time. So you might need to park here for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, a minute. Are they the same thing, or is a minute metric? Once you feel the fatigue, whew, good, you can get yourself out of that and switch sides, and then do that exercise again on the other side. If you find that one side is weaker than the other side, you can do extra rounds for that weaker side, and that's going to help it catch up. Again, be creative and keep trying to put as much work into the side you're balancing on, that knee that's on the cushion. Explore, bounce in, bounce out, move to the side, move over, move in, and just feel that muscle working. And if you can balance with no other help, it's going to be awesome. Awesome. This is going to be huge because you're going to have the ability then to control that butt position, because those muscles are working to create a little sling, a little hammock that holds you up and can gradually relax as you go to sit down. And you can make this more fun by adding wheels. But we're not finished yet. I want to show you how to strengthen your legs with one more exercise. If you're using a rolling chair, I highly recommend you get it up against the wall so it can't roll away on you. You're going to start with your legs about shoulder width apart, and then you're going to face the chair. Then you're going to slowly bend your knees and drop towards the floor like you're getting ready to cut some rug. Where's my rug? Who took my rug? As you go down, think about feeling the muscles above your knee working to control the descent and working to control the ascent. Do not blow through any warning signals you're getting from your body. If you feel like you can only go a couple inches, that's fine right now. Don't try to force through any pops, cracks, or snaps. You want to listen to your body. If it says, you know what, I don't think we can go there, it's probably right. You want to go slow and controlled for as many reps as you can until you feel tired. If you feel some fatigue, some burning right now, great, just stop, take a rest, because especially the first couple times you do this exercise, it is highly likely that you are going to get pretty sore from it later on. So there's no need to try to push through and do a whole bunch of extra reps to impress me or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your spouse or whatever government agency is spying on you through your phone right now. Just keep bending and extending. If you want to get much stronger in those bottom positions, just hang out there. Feel those muscles work. When they feel too tired to work more, up you go. Over time, you're gonna just keep working on getting lower and lower. This may be a question of weeks. This may be a question of months. It depends on how atrophied your legs are. The point is, you will get more mobile as you get more muscle. Right now, that may seem impossible because you're in a state of "Aye!" which stands for atrophy-induced immobility. But again, in your case, since you're so atrophied, more muscle equals more mobility. And eventually, as you get stronger, you can use less help and you can keep working to get down to, say, I don't know, a deep Asian squat in which you might not even need a chair. But we're not talking about the Asian squat right now, so let's get back to sitting in the couch. Once you've built your quads and they have gotten strong enough to handle going up and down a bunch of times and getting fatigued and starting to build a little bit, then you've got your butt all ready from the other exercise, you've got your quads, and now you can shimmy, shimmy, shake slowly and with control until you are safely, comfortably ensconced in your couch. But I want to remind you of the paradox here. The more you sit on your butt, the weaker your butt and legs are going to be, which will make sitting down harder. The only way to ensure that you always have the strength to lower yourself down into a chair or couch is to train your legs and butt regularly so that you always have that strength and you never lose that because you just weren't paying attention. So now let's talk about how often to do these exercises so you get stronger and better at sitting down into a chair. If the last time you did any hip or leg workouts was back when Jane Fonda was at her peak, then you're gonna wanna take it slow and careful. If the last time you were regularly working your hips and legs was when Clint Eastwood was at his peak,
alive or dead, it's your choice,
then you're gonna wanna take it real slow and careful. Start off by doing the 2 exercises that I just showed you twice a week. Do that first butt exercise for 2 rounds on both legs, and if you have a weaker side, do an extra round on that side. Just go to fatigue, set a timer if that helps motivate you and keeps you on track. Don't do the exercise while you're staring at your phone. Really focus in on feeling the right muscles. Once you finish with those butt exercises, take a little rest and then move on to doing those assisted squats. I would aim for doing 2 sets of 12 if you can. If you can't, break it up so that you're doing about 24 repetitions total. So that may mean you are feeling awesome and you do 2 sets of 12, no problem, all gravy. But for some people it might be maybe 4 sets of 6, or maybe it's 6 sets of 4, or maybe it's 3 sets of 8. That was the most math I've done since high school. The point is you'll need to adjust based on where your body's at today. If you are 75 years old and it's just been a while, it's totally fine. Be good to yourself, be compassionate, and be patient. Take it slow. Do a couple repetitions, take a little rest, come back, do it again. Your muscles can and will respond. You just want to play it safe. Of course, if you have osteoporosis, make sure that you use enough assistance so that you are not at risk of falling so you don't break a bone. If you're 35 years old, you can obviously take bigger risks and you'll probably be fine, but still listen to the feedback you're getting from the muscles in your body. And if you're 21 years old, hi and welcome to this channel. Jane Fonda and Clint Eastwood are 2 old people you don't care about. You're gonna do this short workout just twice a week. So that means Monday, Thursday, Tuesday, Saturday, just giving yourself some space in between the days you're doing it. As your body gets used to these exercises and you start to feel like, hey, you know, I'm pretty comfortable with this, you can of course do these exercises more often. Just make sure you're not trying to overdo it right off the bat. I don't want you to cripple yourself with soreness, so don't go doing this workout 4 times the very first day. As you and your muscles get used to these exercises, you may find that it's really nice to just do some butt exercises in the middle of the day or do some leg exercises after lunch. That's totally fine. You just want to make sure you listen to your body and adjust based on what your body's telling you. I've got more videos to help you get through your daily life without pain. Check them out here. You can support this channel by using the join or thanks buttons down below or the Patreon and PayPal links you'll find in the description box. Like, share, and subscribe with the bell notification on, and as always, I hope you remember that pain sucks. Life shouldn't.